Welcome everybody. My name's Amy L. We're here together at F.I.T for our 1-hour yoga fit format today. So when you're ready, we'll begin in a seat, however that wants to look like or feel like for you. I'm going to place a block under my hips for myself just to kind of find a little extra length in the spine. You might do the same, you might not. But as you settle into your space, you can let the eyes close down or let the gaze kind of find a space to land. And we'll just begin to settle into our breath. Maybe that's noticing the inhale and exhale to begin. Maybe that's finding a little movements to help you land into your space today. So as you let go of anything weighing on the mind, anything weighing on the heart, maybe the next inhale kind of floats the rib cage to expand out a little bit. Maybe the belly to expand out a little bit. And the exhale will soften those spaces right back where they came from. So just 2 more times. Feel your big inhale. Feel that soothing exhale. Maybe letting the spine grow a little bit taller on this last breath in. And keeping that length in the spine as you breathe out. So as you're ready to, you can lift the arms out to the sides. Maybe they come all the way overhead. And as you exhale, we'll take that breath, maybe soften the thumbs down to our heart. And one more time, breathe the arms out to the sides, maybe all the way up to the sky as you inhale. And find that softening as you exhale. So pause for a moment, maybe tuck the chin towards your chest. Find that space opening behind your neck. You can stay there, or maybe find a little nod side to side. And maybe for a moment, consider if there's an intention, maybe an affirmation, or even a goal you'd like to set for your practice today. Maybe that's a reminder to come back to the breath. Maybe that's reminding yourself you are perfect as you are. There is no wrong answer, no right answer. So take your time to soften for one more inhale and exhale. Returning to that nice, tall, seated spine, and then maybe opening the arms about shoulder height once again. Feel that extension of energy from your heart through the arms, through your fingertips. And maybe we inhale to imagine a little string lifting your heart up to the sky. And then as we exhale, we'll round the spine nice and big. Maybe the arms extend forward, rounding around that beach ball. And then we'll find a seated variation of cat and cow here. Maybe the inhale presses the arms back, lifts the heart forward. And maybe your exhale reaches the heart to the wall behind you and extends the fingertips forward. So taking up your space, feeling that energy begin to expand within you and around you. Reaching for one more big breath in, and maybe rounding for one more big breath out. You can stay here, or maybe soften the hands to the legs. Perhaps this becomes a seated forward fold if it serves you. Finding any little movements or any moments of stillness. Preparing to leave this seated shape and take that transition towards our tabletop pose. So you might set your prop to the side. Find any way to get onto hands and knees that works for us today. Guiding the palms to maybe stack underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. A little lift of our belly as you extend that tailbone behind you, and maybe shine the crown in front of you. Feel that press of hands in the mat, maybe the tops of the feet in the mat. And when you're ready to, we'll start with some hip circles, maybe reaching that right glute to that right heel, shifting left glute to left heel, lifting hips away from the heels, and finding that stack of shoulders over the wrists again. So maybe we're working about 3 circles in each direction. Take your time, maybe make this a little bit slower than you normally would, to really get the breath into the body, to maybe feel those darker corners of the body. Taking your time and switching your sides whenever you're ready to. Staying with the breath as you stay with that mental awareness. Maybe reaching for one more circle or taking whatever you need to to offer your body what it's asking for here, whether that's landing in a child's pose or perhaps returning to your tabletop. But once again, as you take a pause, maybe find 3 rounds of breath to be still, or to find your own little sway, your own little movement. Reminding yourself that there is no right or wrong, just what is feeling best for us today or most like us today. So you choose, if you're in that child's pose, to maybe eventually rise back to that nice tabletop shape, adjusting your stance as you need to, and preparing for your cat and cow. So really inhaling to roll the shoulder blades back, soften the belly down, lift the heart forward, the tailbone to the wall behind you. Reverse that energy, create that big upside down U shape in the body, rounding the crown down, the tailbone down. And move with your own breath for maybe 3 cycles between these 2 shapes. Let them be as big or as small as it serves you to be today. Finding one more option in either direction. Using your breath to guide you back to that neutral tabletop, and then maybe offer a moment for these shoulders here. Threading the needle, one hand will come to the mat first, maybe that's the left hand. Option to reach right elbow or right hand up to the sky, and let that exhale kind of thread your arm underneath. Right shoulder or right ear might find the mat. Notice the hips, if they're kind of swaying to one side or the other, and work to maybe maintain that squareness. Your left hand can extend and find support or exploration in this posture. And same thing with that left leg. You're welcome to explore, to play with it. But once again, kind of remind the ego that there's no right or wrong, just what's working for us today. So as you maybe reach for one more breath in, and perhaps stay for one more breath out, we'll take whatever journey we need to walk that left hand back down. Maybe reach that right arm up, feel that stretch in the side body, before setting it right back down, adjusting your stance to go to the other side. So maybe that right hand presses the floor away as you reach for the ceiling with your left arm. Slow exhale, threads that shoulder to the ground, maybe the ear to the ground. And again, what do you need to support yourself in this space here? Can we lift that lower belly in, maybe guide our right hand or right foot somewhere? Checking in with the pattern of our breath and kind of letting that be what guides us to choose what is for us and maybe what isn't today. So as you reach for that last inhale, maybe your exhale sets the right hand back down, pressing the floor away to breathe that left arm back up to the sky. And an exhale will bring 2 hands back down to the mat, reaching for any final movements you might like in your tabletop before shifting the hips up and back, reaching for your first down dog. You can pedal out the heels here, maybe walk out the knees or the hips. This is a perfect place to stay, or if you're looking to build a little bit more heat in the whole body, maybe we pause for a breath, let the exhale reach heels heavy to the mat, so that our next inhale can lift our heels and maybe ripple the spine forward towards a plank pose. Find that strong posture for one breath before bending the knees and shifting yourself up and back to that down dog. 3 more times here if this option serves you today. It does not have to. So as you kind of discern what your practice might need from you in this moment, take 2 more rounds of breath, finding that stillness or moving how you're choosing to move. But as you settle the hips up and back for that final downward dog, take your time. Take maybe one last breath to press the floor away, letting the heels grow heavy towards the earth once again, so that your next inhale can lift them up, maybe take the gaze forward. We're gonna soften the knees and walk towards the top of our mat. As many steps as you need here. We're finding our first standing fold. So maybe we reach for our props to bring the floor closer to us, or let ourselves hang wherever we're hanging. We're gonna hinge from the hips, maybe bend the knees, weight is in our heels, and we're gonna shine our crown forward, working towards the ground. So as you notice where you are, we're still in the start of practice. Find that big breath here, and let the exhale go. so that our next breath can maybe guide us to lift halfway. Hands can be on the shins, on the thighs, or maybe they find that airplane extension behind us. We're working to elongate our torso nice and long in the spine and the sides of the body for one more breath in. Let the exhale soften you all the way down. Press into the feet, slowly extend the crown to the sky. Rolling the shoulders back, lifting the gaze up, maybe the arms rise with your gaze. As you exhale, feel any intentions, any affirmations steady to the heart. We'll find one more inhale here, and letting go nice and softly with the exhale. Hands might soften to the sides, and as we finish our warm-up, we'll prepare to find our first flow together. Nice and slow, the arms can come up to begin. And we'll begin to sit the hips back to a chair pose. Your feet can be hips width apart. If you prefer them toes together, you can take that as well. But we'll reach the tailbone behind us, kind of shift the weight into the heels and lift through our low belly. Find a little breath to sink down and charge into your chair. And then maybe we press the floor away, lift up nice to your tall mountain. So right away, the exhale is going to take us back into that chair pose. That inhale is going to take us right back up to that tall mountain pose. And one more time, we sink the hips back into chair. Last time, root to rise, find that big breath. Let this exhale fold you forward, back to that standing fold. Knees soft, find your props. Adjust the stance of your feet if you need. So from here, we're just going to twist our fold, maybe bending into that left knee, grounding that left hand, lifting through the belly, and maybe turning the heart to the right, and maybe the arm up to the right. Roll the shoulder blades back, feel that space expand across your chest for one breath in. And then as you breathe out, let it come down, maybe soften both knees, release through center in your fold before reaching to lift halfway. And maybe softening to the bend the right knee, ground the right hand, inhale your left arm all the way up. Shoulders roll back, create that space for your gaze, for your heart. Lifting nice and tall on your in-breath to soften all the way down on your out-breath. Bend two knees, option to find one more halfway lift. Create that space through your breath, through your body. And as you breathe out, we're gonna come through our vinyasa flow. On this first round, you can find that high plank or that half plank. Maybe invite the option to ripple into your side plank as you inhale, lift up and open. And maybe that exhale sets you down to close through center. You can also do this with one knee down, still finding that side plank lift and reach, and letting the exhale bring you through center, maybe through that high to low plank, to guide you through your cobra or your up dog, and to soften you all the way back to your down dog. Reminder that tabletop and child's pose are always there when down dog might not be what we're looking for. So take one breath in and one breath out to recenter, to check in. And as you're ready to, we'll inhale to lift our heels, exhale to soften the knees. And take that time as you steady your way to the top of the mat. One inhale will guide us to halfway lift. One exhale will root us down and let us rise all the way up. Reaching for that big breath in, softening into that big breath out. And as you take a breath to pause, to reset, to refocus, we'll begin and repeat that one breath, one movement. So let's inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, just two chairs this time. Sink back, find that strength, find that lift as you breathe up. Last time here, soften all the way down, reaching all the way up, squeezing the thighs and the glutes, so we can exhale, find that fold. And maybe lift through our halfway lift before exhaling, leaning to whatever side we're twisting. Let yourself open. As you inhale, exhale will close, soften both knees. Shift your prep to the other side so we can open the arm, do our other twist. Exhale takes you down through center, and the inhale finds that halfway lift once again. So your exhale steps you back to your plank pose. You can choose to flow, maybe choose to add those side planks if you want to turn on the side body. Once again, you're choosing for yourself, for nobody else. So as you make your way through your vinyasa or just straight back to that down dog, or other pose of your choice. You can choose to remain here or choose to take that journey back to the top of the mat. Moving through that flow one more time before we move on to the next one. So you find your way as you're called to today. Maybe reaching for that halfway lift to root down, eventually inhaling all the way up with or without the arms, and sealing that intention at your heart. Right away, inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, we're gonna sink the hips back for one chair pose. Inhale, squeeze, lift, reach, rise. Right away we exhale, find that standing fold. Maybe we reach for that halfway lift to begin, before exhaling, softening to one side so that we can inhale and open up the other. Let the exhale take that hand down, switch your setup before opening to the other side. Exhale will take you down and maybe move you through that vinyasa. Last option here for those side planks if you want them. I won't be cueing them through the rest of class, but if you want to keep them, they're here for you. So as you take your time, choose that flow or choose that rest. Wherever you need to be, it's for you. It's there for you. So take your time, take your way. And then as you're ready to begin, we'll meet in our downward dog. And as we meet in that downward dog, maybe we just take a breath or two to notice what's changing, where we feel the body heating up, maybe becoming a little bit more spacious. There's no right or wrong, we're just looking for that inner awareness. So as you let the ego go, let the expectations go, let's set the left foot down and maybe reach that right heel up. We're gonna shine our right pinky toe down in an effort to keep the hips square to begin. And maybe lift that heel half an inch as we inhale so that we can bend the knee, kick heel to glute, and maybe drive that knee forward on our exhale. That right foot's finding the top of the mat. We're setting our feet on two separate lines. Props can be here once again. Bring the floor closer to you before maybe setting that back knee down and finding our low lunge. So we'll press a little bit into that front heel, kind of feel that support in the right leg before breathing the arms nice and tall to our low crescent. Feel that breath, reach the arms up, maybe press into your back big toe. And then as you exhale, the hands are gonna meet under that front thigh. Maybe the fingertips tap. And we'll come into a halfway lift to open the arms nice and wide, about shoulder height. So we'll take that 2 more times, reach down. Inhale, expand up. Maybe 1 more time to tap down. Last time to come out like this. And then maybe we're reaching forward, letting the palms meet together so that we can drive them right back up. So feel that strength in the right leg, a little bit of core work invited here too. The hands can separate, and as you exhale, we're gonna take the elbows rather to that 90-degree angle, maybe that cactus shape or that goalpost shape. So try that 2 more times on this first round. Inhale, reach nice and tall. Maybe the hips come into play as you find that exhale, they do not have to. Your last breath to reach is here. Your last exhale to soften is here. 1 more inhale is gonna prepare the arms to come up so that they can come back down and frame the foot. As you need to, props can shift. We're gonna lift that back knee, press the floor away nice and strong, finding your tall plank or your supported plank. Maybe we move through that flow, maybe we don't. So setting that up on the right side, take your time to take what you need before we set that up on the left side. 1 breath in, 1 breath out, 1 breath at a time, really. So as you set that right foot down, maybe we shine our left heel up. Find that left pinky toe facing downward as you find that breath in. Curling heel to glute, knee towards the chest on your breath out. Slowly stepping your left foot forward, assisting it up as you need to. And maybe reaching for your support. Find a breath to lengthen the spine up before softening that back knee down. Toes are tucked or untucked. We're pressing a little bit into that front heel, feeling the support of our left leg, and maybe taking the arms up to the sky. So soften the shoulder blades down, feel that lift of the gaze, lift of the heart as you breathe in. Maybe that exhale brings your fingertips to tap under the thigh as you breathe out. So that inhale becomes that little halfway lift, expanding the arms about shoulder height. That exhale brings the hands back together. 2 more times. creating that space a little bit longer, a little bit bigger with every inhale. That last exhale is going to guide the palms together in front of us. Take that energy, lift it up overhead before separating the palms and maybe softening down with just the arms or adding those hips as well. So play with that for 2 more breaths on this first round. Get a sense of where your body is, not just in this movement, but also on this side. So last exhale guides you here. Your final inhale lifts the arms up so we can set them right back down. Tucking your back toes, lifting the back knee. Find a home for your props if you wish, before taking your journey between your sides, your left side, your right side. And we'll begin again, moving 1 breath, 1 movement. So take a moment as you need it. Break for water, break for rest. And as you're ready to perhaps find your starting stance, we'll begin a little bit more quickly as you settle left foot down and lift that right heel up. 1 exhale guides the heel to the glutes, the knee towards the chest. We'll set our foot forward towards that thumb. Back knee will find the earth. Take your time to find your support as you lift up to your low crescent lunge. As you exhale, take that first breath to tap the fingertips underneath. Inhale kind of turns on the back body, lifts the arms up. Exhale finds that tap. Inhale finds that expansion. 1 more time to meet the hands underneath. Send them right back out to the sides. Our next inhale extends those hands forward, brings the fingertips up nice and strong. 1 exhale here releases the hands down, maybe also the hips. Press into the front heel, lift out of the body as you reach on your inhale. We'll bring the hands down to frame your foot as you exhale. Taking your time to transfer back to that plank pose or any pose that supports you between your right side and your left side. So again, you take what you need, you can leave what you don't. If we're going for that second time on the left side, that right foot might find the earth, that left heel might reach all the way up. Find 1 inhale here, 1 exhale to guide heel to glute. The knee comes forward, the foot comes forward, and that back knee will find the earth as you're ready. Inhale, sweep the arms up nice and tall and strong. As you exhale, we're guiding fingertips to tap underneath the thigh. Inhaling to open the arms halfway. Exhale, send them right back down. 2 more here. Last inhale to reach us up. This time the palms extend forward and together. Squeeze through that left leg as you bring the arms up, and let your breath go as you bring the elbows down. Inhale, lift and reach. Press the floor away. Hands find the mat 1 more time, or once again. Step back to your plank pose. Find your flow or find your rest. And as you find that space for yourself to be, you can choose to stay here or choose to regroup, recenter in that downward dog, and maybe find that 1 more time on each side. Left foot grounds, right heel rises. 1 inhale here. Exhale begins that bend at the knee, takes that journey to step it forward, and maybe guides that back knee to the earth. Inhale, nice and strong, find your low crescent lunge. Exhale, find that reach below. Inhale, find that expansive halfway lift. So less cues on this last round. We inhale last time here. Bring the hands forward. Inhale, lift them up. Cactus and release as you draw down. Press that energy back up to the sky before framing your foot. Find that plank pose, maybe your flow. Softening back before reaching for that last round on your left side. Right foot comes down, that left heel rises up. Exhale, step through and forward. Reaching for that low crescent lunge, softening back knee, lifting the arms. 1 exhale, taps the fingertips underneath. Find that lift and reach as you breathe up and out. Last tap underneath the thigh. Inhale, extends and opens. glue your palms together to the wall in front of you. Big inhale, we lift up. Last exhale to draw down. Press the energy up through the hands, through that grounded front heel. Bring the fingertips down as you flow, or choose to rest. Taking your time to honor your body, your mind, your needs in this moment, in this breath. And as you're ready to, we move through one more round of repeated movement. We're almost there, but not quite. So if you are ready to find this new flow, we'll begin in that down dog once again, offering that left foot to the earth, lifting that right heel to the sky. And as you glide the heel to the glute here, we have the option to start to open the hip. Maybe we're lifting that right knee up, maybe stacking that right hip over the left, as much or as little as it feels good to. Keep that even press in two hands for your last inhale here. As you exhale, you can turn that hip back to square, drive that knee forward, and prepare to find that runner's lunge once again. Keep the back knee lifted. We're gonna rise to our high lunge, so maybe we find support through the props to press into that front heel, maybe hover the fingertips before taking that journey to lift the arms all the way up. Keep them at the heart or the hips if that is preferable. So steady your gaze for a moment. Keep that nice bend in the front knee. The arms can or might extend up here. And we're kind of gonna repeat what we did, just differently. As you exhale, the hands can charge down. We might bend that back knee to charge a little bit as well. Let the inhale reach you back up. So play with that just 2 more times. Feel the feeling of that movement. And then we'll charge down once more. As we inhale to come up, that back heel is gonna find the earth. The arms can slice down to our warrior 2 shape. So feel the shoulder blades draw together. Nice, steady stance of your arms forward and back. Front palm will flip. And as you inhale, we're gonna straighten that front leg, take this to reverse triangle. So feel that energy pressing down on the front heel and zipping up through the leg, through the hip, through the arm. Keep this here, maybe extend forward to your triangle pose. This can also become extended side angle if a bend in that front knee feels a little bit more supportive for you today. The choice is yours. So one more inhale, bring it up and back to that reverse variation. And then this time, as you exhale, we're just going to come down, bend that front knee, square your hips back to that runner's lunge. Your left hand is gonna step next to your right foot, and maybe that right arm starts to twist open to the right side. So notice that left shoulder, is it drawing into the midline of the mat? Can we extend it out to the outer line of the mat? Create that strong and steady support for one breath in. Maybe thread the needle just once on this side, hover the hand beneath the thigh before lifting it up for your last inhale, allowing the exhale to take hands down to frame the foot. And if you want to stretch that hamstring in the right leg, you can slowly lengthen that right leg, lift the hips, find that lifted half split variation. And if it might be more supportive or more effective, you can leave that back knee down and find that same shape here. So steady your breath, take that moment for yourself. When you're ready to find your way back to your starting stance, find your runner's lunge, maybe step it back. Maybe choose your vinyasa or choose to skip it. We're grounding back to whatever starting pose of our choice serves us in this breath before starting to set up that series on the left side. As you're ready to, that right foot can find the mat. Maybe that left heel reaches up. Maybe we start to kick heel to glute so that we can offer the option to lift that left knee, maybe stack the left hip over, keeping that heart square to the mat, lifting for one more inhale, and squaring your hips back as you exhale to step that left foot forward. Settle into your runner's lunge. Maybe find your blocks, or just find that awareness in the front heel before we lift that energy all the way up to our high lunge. Feet are on 2 parallel lines. Take that big inhale as you bend into the front knee, and maybe that exhale charges the arms down, charges that back knee down. So find that for a few breaths. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and soften. We'll reach up for one more breath, reach down for one more breath. This inhale can turn that back heel out, You can take the arms in any way that supports you to carry you to that warrior two shape. They can be here, they can be here. Find yourself in your pose. So as you reach forward, find those soft shoulder blades, flipping the front palm, and as you lift up and back, maybe that front leg lifts and lengthens as well. So we're reaching for that triangle shape, reverse triangle shape. Create that zip up line of energy for your last inhale here. And as you exhale, we can keep that leg straight and melt for your full triangle. If this is a lot on the body, find a little support in that bent knee, and maybe this becomes extended side angle instead. So you have your choice. You know what's working for you. As you take your next breath, we'll lift it all the way up and back, reversing your triangle or your warrior. Your exhale bends that front knee. We're slowly squaring the hips and framing the foot with the hands. Right hand meets the left foot so that we can open and reach and extend up once again. Find that external rotation of your shoulders. Let them roll back, not in. And as you find your last breath here, perhaps that last exhale threads your hand beneath that thigh, little spinal twist. Inhale, we lift up. And the exhale frames your foot with the left hand, and we find that half split stretch. Option to leave the right knee lifted. If it's supportive or more effective, the right knee comes down, and we create that similar shape here. Once again, remind yourself there is no right or wrong. So check in what is feeling best for you in this moment. And as you're ready to let that go, we'll find our way back to wherever we're starting, whether that's through a vinyasa or maybe not. So as you choose your transition, maybe also come back to your intention, perhaps come back to that breath and body awareness as you observe how the practice is maybe changing you bit by bit. So as you're ready to take that one breath, one movement, we'll begin left foot down, right foot up. Find that strong inhale, maybe that open hip. And that exhale takes your right foot to the top of the mat, settles your feet on two parallel lines. We're gonna inhale and lift up right away. And as you exhale, we're just taking 2 breaths to soften down and charge our high lunge. One more time, find that softening here. Letting the inhale lift the arms up. Maybe we ground that back heel to start, and then the hands slice to warrior two. Front palm rises, we breathe it up and back. Option to lengthen the front leg. Let your exhale take you right away to that extended forward position. Inhale right away will take you up and back. Use that whole breath here. Maybe the exhale softens into the front knee. We'll find that squaring transition to bring left hand to the mat and maybe that right arm to the sky. One exhale can thread that arm beneath your front thigh if you want it. Inhale takes it right back up so that we can exhale and ground the hand right back down. Take your last breath here, that moment for your half split, however you are caring to take it today. Let the exhale bring you down, step you back. We might flow, we might rest. But we're already halfway done through this little flow. 2 more times left, 1 more time on the right side. Let's even out our second round with the right foot down, that left heel up. Option to open your hip with that breath in and taking that breath out to step the foot forward, find that runner's lunge. Inhale will take you to rise in your time. Finding 2 softening breaths here. Strengthen it up as you inhale. Last time here as you exhale. Bring the arms up, maybe the back heel down. Find your transition to warrior two. Front palm finds that lift. We breathe up and back, choose our front leg. Let the exhale reach as we also choose our front leg. Taking that last breath to breathe us up and back. Softening into that front knee so that we can exhale, cartwheel the arms, square the hips and the heart to find that right hand down. Maybe that left arm up. Big breath here. Slow exhale threads the needle. Slowly bring your hand down, step the foot back, or take that half split if you need it. When you're ready, you choose what you need, you choose what you want to leave. And as you find that choice, how are you choosing for this last time on the right side for this little pattern of movement? So choose what you need, leave what you don't. Option to land left foot as you lift the right. Open your hips or leave them square before we soften that right foot forward. Finding runner's lunge, inhale to your high lunge. Just one breath here to soften and charge down. Inhale, lift the arms up, grounding the back heel. Slice down, warrior two. Flip the front palm and find your breath to take you up and back and reverse. Slowly exhale, extend forward. Trust your choices, let them be yours. We reach back for our last breath in and take that slow, mindful journey to square everything back to the top of the mat. Rooting left hand down to inhale the right arm up. Maybe find that thread for one exhale. Lift it back up for your inhale. Guide two hands back to frame the foot as you choose if and how you want to stretch your right hamstring. Find that intention for your last breath here, pressing the foot forward, shining the hip back. And when you're ready to, we'll find our way, we'll trust our journey to close out that right side. And maybe you live through that left side one more time. So take a cleansing breath as you find your starting pose. Leaving right foot down, shining that left heel up. Open the hips here if you like. Before exhaling, finding that step forward for your last time on that runner's lunge. Inhale nice and strong and tall. One time to exhale, find that softening of the back leg. Inhale begins that transition to ground the back heel. Slice the arms down. Stack the head, the heart, the hips. Flip the front palm up as you reach it up and back. As you exhale, we're extending forward. Triangle or your side angle. Last breath to find that reverse energy. Letting your exhale soften and cartwheel you down. Leave that right hand on the mat. Reach that left arm up to the sky. Stay for your breath or find that exhale to take you down. And one more time, lift it up. Left hand finds the mat. Maybe we reach for that hamstring stretch. When you're ready, place the foot down, press the hands down, find your plank pose. Maybe your flow here. We're almost there. We're moving through one last series together, only one time on the right side, one time on the left side. So consider this that last bit of effort, that last little push, before we find that sweet softness at the end of our class. So as you settle into your starting pose, feel the hands on the mat, maybe the feet on the mat, wherever the body may be. If you're in that down dog, left foot grounds, that right heel rises. Find that intention in your lifted heel as you maybe close heel to glute and maybe lift that hip to stack over the left. Exhale, close your hips as you begin to drive that knee towards the top of the mat, setting the right foot down, lengthening the left leg long, maybe finding your props here. We're gonna come up to that high lunge once again. So let that right hip kind of wrap back so we can shine our left hip forward. And as you take a breath out, we're returning to that little tap underneath the thigh. That inhale, we'll spread the arms out wide like wings, and we'll find that 2 more times. Use the back muscles to find that expression for 1 more time to tap underneath. 1 more time to inhale, open. Maybe extend those palms forward, reach, let them come together. And we'll exhale, lift all the way up to soften and come all the way down. So as you inhale, we'll find our nice tall lunge, knowing that we can soften the back knee down at any time. Let the hands find the heart here. We're coming to a twist, so that left elbow will slowly start to reach for that right thigh. We're gonna turn our heart to the right side as best we can as we energize the inner thighs together. Maybe the hands press together to lift heart to the thumbs. Sometimes I like to extend my right hand. Right leg, right hand is out. Left hand comes to the heart of the shoulder and just creates a little bit more space for the spine to be. So find that twist, find that lift of the core for 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, that right hand will stay as it is. We're going to extend that left arm to find our airplane lunge and hold that here. So our right leg is talking to us. Feel that squeeze, feel that strength. and tap into that energy of the upper body for your last breath here. So we're coming to reverse warrior next. Let that back heel find the mat. You can do anything you want with the arms to kind of lift that energy all the way up and back here. And then maybe our exhale just extends it forward to that side angle. Find that long line of energy from the back heel through the top back fingertips. And our last inhale will bring us up and back. To take our exhale to maybe guide 2 hands back to the top of the mat. So you might start in that runner's lunge-like shape. You have a few options here. That first one's gonna be our standing split. All the weight will shift onto that right leg, ground through the right heel, feel that length from the heel to the hip. And maybe that back foot kind of just presses into the wall behind us. So if you wanna stay here, you can stay here. Or your next option is gonna be to twist your half moon. All that shift is taking the right hand, maybe bringing it to the right hip. Maybe it kind of extends out to the side as you maintain that strong left leg. And then that final option for your twisted half moon is to turn your heart to the right side, maybe your gaze to the right side. It can be very challenging. So if that's not in the cards for us today, that's okay. You have one more option, and maybe that's a traditional half moon. That might mean stacking the left hip over top the right, and maybe that left arm kind of finds a way to the hip or to extend up. You don't have to take all the options. They're here so that you can meet yourself on any given day, wherever your body might be, wherever the mind might be. So find one last inhale to press and lift and extend wherever you are, slowly squaring back to that standing split so that 2 feet can step next to each other. We find that fold, or maybe that left ankle crosses behind the right and just gives us a slightly different experience. Can we shine the crown all the way down towards our toes or towards the mat? And again, those props can bring the floor closer to you. They can invite just a different spatial experience within the body. Maybe we find that inhale to lift our gaze or lengthen our spine, softening to fold deeper into that exhale. Taking one more big breath in and one more big breath out. So as you need to, we'll shift the weight back to that right foot. If the ankles are crossed, we'll uncross them and maybe guide the feet to about match width apart. You can let the hips begin to soften as much or as little as you like, and just give yourself a moment in a yogi squat, whether the hips are more up here today, they can be more down to the floor. You can also find support on a prop. But before we tend to the other side of our body for that last push, take 2 breaths here. Finding the air in your lungs, the length in your spine, and that trust and guidance within for one more cycle of movement. So as you're ready, those hands can maybe reach for the floor. Take your time to lift the hips away from the mat. Maybe find your props to be placed to the side. That flow is there for you. Or you can skip it as you need to. Find the loving choices for yourself in any given moment. And as you're ready to tend to that last time on the left side, maybe we find where we want to begin. Press that intention into the mat, into the feet, and we'll lift that left heel up. Maybe opening the left hip. So we can exhale and close it, drive that knee forward, step the foot forward, elongate that left leg behind you, rising to your high lunge in your time. Arms can be extended or anywhere else as you wrap that left hip back, press the right hip forward. Slow exhale will bring the fingertips to meet under the thigh, and we'll inhale, find those expansive arms here. So take your time, take your breath. Maybe one more tap underneath ourselves, one more expansion to our sides, gathering all that energy forward, sending it up to the sky, and letting that exhale soften us down to our cactus shape. Maybe bring the hands back to the heart or back overhead for a moment. Soften the shoulder blades down, lift the belly in. We're taking right elbow towards that left thigh. So option to leave that back knee lifted or lowered. Maybe that left arm reaches to the wall behind us, or we find those hands at the heart, taking our option there. Energize the inner thighs towards each other to help you stabilize that twisting balance. As you take one more breath in, leave that left hand as it is as you breathe out. The heart will square to center as that right arm extends. Hold the strengthening posture. Feel that left side turn on for one more breath here. As you exhale, that right heel can ground, and the inhale might take the arms nice and open to that reverse warrior. Slowly exhale. You can extend the energy to your side angle stretch. And let the inhale open you right back up to that reverse variation. So as we exhale, we're taking that journey to our balancing poses at the top of the mat. Maybe square everything to start as you slowly shift the weight over that left heel. Feel the press of the heel, that lift through the leg and the hip. Extend the right leg behind you. Maybe stay here. Again, we'll keep the right hand down as we maybe take left hand to left hip, offering the option for your twisted half moon. Feel your body extending in the 4 cardinal directions. And then if you want to play with that twisting of the torso to the left side, you can do that here. Again, might be very challenging on one side or both sides. Last option for you is to land that left hand down, maybe start to stack the right hip over the left, and reach for that more traditional half moon option. So again, this is not to be confusing, this is not to be overly challenging, but these are just options for you to have in your pocket, to keep in your toolbox and explore them when you feel like it. So as we reach for that last inhale, let the exhale slowly close you back to that standing split. Pause for a moment as you decide if we're taking 2 feet together in that forward fold, or maybe letting the right ankle cross behind the left. Walk your hands or your props around to find your space that you would like to be in, where you can hinge at your hips, maybe release that space behind the neck. Let the head grow heavy to keep it nice and long. Inhaling to take that half lift motion, and maybe letting that exhale start the journey to press the weight into the left foot, so we can uncross the ankles and maybe find our Malasana squat, our yogi squat one last time. The hips are softening down. The heels are kind of turned at about 45 degrees. We're finding that support underneath us or maybe even in front of us, and honoring where we are as we come towards the end of our practice. So let the shoulders be soft, let the heart be open. Maybe the hands come out and kind of open in a similar fashion. Maybe the elbows press the knees away. And we stay for our last 3 rounds of breath. Last inhale here. And as you melt through that exhale, consider what assistance you might need to come out of the pose, whether that's with props or just with that mindful movement. You can find one more standing fold here if you'd like. Maybe clasp elbows to wrist, find that last bit of length and space through the vertebrae. And as you are ready to, you have the option to flow once more or head straight back to your child's pose. Letting the hips grow heavy to the heels. Finding that simple stillness or any sort of gentle sways or gentle movements left to right. Letting the breath get a little bit deeper into the lungs and into the rest of the body. Knowing that you are welcome to remain here, or as we take that slow shift into our cool down, you might gently shift towards a comfortable seat once again. That can be cross-legged or having the legs extended. But as you arrive, maybe we find that tall seat, that tall spine, letting the heart lift a little bit in that cow shape, and maybe kind of softening to round it back into that cat shape. So maybe lift forward for one more inhale, extend backward for one more exhale. This might become a slow torso circle, kind of finding 360 degrees around the body in one direction, maybe once or twice, before slowly floating it through the other direction. And just observing the quality of your breath, of your movement, And gently coming back to center in your time, always honoring those little nudges you might need.
Everything.
So as you're ready to, perhaps that left leg extends out long first. And maybe we find that right foot towards the inside edge of the left thigh. We might take an inhale to lift the arms up, and maybe an exhale to find that fold forward. It does not matter how far we can extend. What matters is keeping that pattern of our breath, maybe inviting a little softness into the knee, but landing in a place where we can start to feel that stretch and maintain that quality of inhale and exhale. So as you observe your left side here, we'll take one more inhale together, one more exhale to let it go, so that our next inhale can maybe root through that sit bone, lift the spine nice and tall. Slowly we'll switch out the legs here, extending the right, softening in the left, maybe breathing the arms all the way up, choosing how you want to exhale, extend, and fold over that right leg. Can you let yourself land in a place where you can truly feel the breath in your lungs? That exhale to let go. As you soften through one more inhale and one more exhale. Rooting through the sit bones, rolling the spine upwards one last time. Finding that final moment to maybe extend two legs nice and long. And we'll begin that journey onto the backs of our bodies for our final movements here. As you soften your way down, give yourself a chance to notice how the spine feels as it's supported, as you maybe draw two knees into your chest space, maybe sliding the feet up to the sky as you reach for a happy baby, letting the hands meet the ankles, the toes, or somewhere along the feet, massaging the lower back against the mat as you maybe rock side to side. Staying here, or letting that soften and release as you hug two knees into your chest space, maybe lifting the nose towards the knees. And as you set the head down, maybe we extend that left leg long, extending that right arm as you inhale to send the right leg over the body as you exhale. You might steady your gaze at the right fingertips for that whole spinal twist. Taking that big breath in. What are you letting go of as you breathe out? Last breath on this side. Letting the exhale slowly unravel you back to center. Two knees into the heart. Maybe inhaling nose towards the knees. As you exhale, left leg stays, we elongate the right. Opening left arm to the side before exhaling that left leg to the right side of the body. Hold the gaze at your left arm, over that left shoulder. Finding your last few breaths on this side. Taking your time to unravel back to center. To take any final movements you might like for yourself or for your practice. Choosing when you'd like to unravel and land in your final Shavasana. And let the rest of the song just slowly wash over you.
Sing to us lullabies to mark the passing time. I'm conjuring our bell towers, chiming to the winds. Let it heal you, circle with your kin. So sing and swoon and wander, the rushing of the wind. gentle, come surrender. The storm comes as a friend. So sing and tune and wander. The rushing of the wind. Come gentle, come surrender. The storm comes as a friend, a friend. So sing and tune and wander. The rushing of the wind. Come gentle, come surrender. The storm comes as a friend. So sing and tune and wander. The rushing of the wind. Come gentle, come surrender. The storm comes as a
So I invite you to slowly invite your awareness to come back into your breath cycle. Maybe slowly inviting movement back through the fingers and toes to begin, and gently working your way up the limbs. Maybe stretching the arms overhead or letting the head nod side to side. Knowing that you're welcome to stay here as we close out our practice. Or if you'd like to join in that closing, you might take that journey towards your favorite side, let yourself roll over there. And maybe pause before softening back up to whatever comfortable seat calls you most. And as you arrive there, maybe the eyes are closed or the gaze is soft. And we might come back to any intentions we set for ourselves, letting our next breath reach for those words, and inviting that exhale to soften those words down into our heart. And we'll take our last breath as we bring thumbs to third eye, honoring our practice together with gratitude. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Amy L. again. This is Vibe Vault Fit, and we will see you next time. Thank you, guys. I know, right?